came from another universe, which was created by another source. That source came from another universe, which was created by another source. That source came from another universe, which was created by another source, and so on, until at some point each of us is source of a universe, if that is what we choose, or passenger within another source's universe, part of them, if that is what we choose. There is no prime creation. There is no start. It is infinite. It has always been. I know it sounds a bit mind-blowing. People ask, well, how could this have been? Well, the moment it first came to be, it had always been.
Ghosts are, they're not stuck between third and fourth. They're not demons. Ghosts are basically, when you're dealing with what I consider an intelligent haunting, is a soul that has not quite moved on from the ethereal realm and is for some reason either choosing to remain here on planet or is stuck here on planet because of some unfinished business. Now there's the intelligent hauntings, which are, where you can interact with them, and then there's the they're known as residual hauntings, which are more like a fragment of a broken video, like you have just this one scene that plays over and over and over again, either at a specific date and time or every single day at a specific time, this specific thing happens. That's what, is considered a residual haunting. Generally speaking, those evolved from a traumatic event or some other high-energy, high-impact event, and the surrounding area absorbs the energy of that event, and then when a person walks into that area, the event is triggered. I hope that helps.
Sunfire is actually an expert in this.
Yeah, my family for many generations has been involved in the paranormal. Orbs can be spirits. They can be probes from, or what the closest terminology would be probes, little scanning devices or information gathering devices. And orbs can also be group souls, or just a soul that doesn't want to take a physical form, deciding to come and take a look and see what's going on. That, like a dimensional or higher dimensional soul or, something like that.
Yeah, the easiest form of energy to take is actually a sphere, and that's why orbs are round. If you're not feeling like defining yourself, then a sphere is perfectly fine. Sometimes it's just a bit of energy fluff. We don't have ownership of property, whether, in terms of land, in terms of buildings. Again, these are societies that make heavy use of replicators. It's not necessary to own a car, a spaceship, a house, whatever. But that doesn't stop you from living in a house if you build it, or if you get it from a friend, or somebody gives it, says, hey, I made you this great house, why don't you go live in it? There's nothing stopping that. It's not a matter of paying taxes to the county or the government for it. It's not a matter of having title or ownership or deed. One way Tolik described it is if you find a Great Lake and you want to put up your cabin there, you can. Nothing's stopping you. Somebody else can also put their cabin up, and generally out of politeness, they're not going to put it right where it's going to be interfering with you, so you can both enjoy the lake in relative peace and comfort, and if you choose to interact with one another, you can, and that is my understanding as well. You can set yourself up a nice little house and live comfortably. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to come and take it away. Others might choose to live near you, and then you'd have to negotiate with them, whether it's too close or whatnot. People are usually pretty polite about stuff like that. Everybody will have a place to live.
I do know of 40 races. I know 5D races that can create solar systems, using different technology and that kind of thing. I remember it being mentioned by, I believe it was Alex Collier, that the Venite, which is Morna's people, are capable of even creating solar systems and planets, and they're 5D scientists.
And it's typically a group effort whenever it's done. A manner that is most supportive of human health includes an emphasis on fat and protein over carbohydrates. Carbohydrates and sugar should be very low and should come only from fruits, vegetables, leafy plants, and non-grains. You can have some grains, but if you're at all prone to gaining weight, get rid of the grain, and I'd even say get rid of the starch. There should be no corn sugar, whether it's called liquid invert sugar, whether it's called fruit sugar, whether it's called high fructose corn syrup. There should be nothing of the sort. There should be no agave nectar, which is basically the same thing as high fructose corn syrup, with one difference, and that's that it comes from an agave plant instead of a corn plant. It's chemically processed the exact same way. Honey in limited amounts is okay. Evaporated cane syrup, if you're not prone to gaining weight, you can have some of that. It's still sugar. Sugar and starch will still kill you, make you fat, give you diabetes, and make you sick. It's not being fat that makes you sick. Being fat is a symptom of a broken metabolism that results from an overconsumption of sugar and starch, particularly wheat and free fructose, which have extremely deleterious effects on your metabolism.
Sugar also feeds cancer.
Yes, it does. All cancers feed on sugar, on blood glucose. If you have instead of a high percentage of blood glucose, if you have blood ketones fueling you from fat, cancer can't eat that. A ketogenic diet is very supportive of an anti-cancer state. Now that said, meat contributes to health. Human beings on this planet are omnivores. We are meant to eat both plants and animals. And that includes cooked plants and animals. Seek your sources of meat wisely. Wild caught is ethical if it's sustainable, such as sustainable wild-caught fisheries. Farmed is ethical if it is farmed according to actual, natural, old-fashioned farming methods, or even small-scale modern farming methods. Feedlots and factory farms in which thousands of animals or hundreds of animals are crowded together in the same place, or a crop is monoproduced on the same soil year after year. Doesn't matter if you're a vegetarian or if you're a meat eater or what. If you're eating it from a factory farm, it is bad for you and it is bad for Mother Earth. Yeah, most people use replicators. When it comes, typically on positive planets, animals are not raised for meat because long since that has been scanned and put into the replicator. There is wild hunting and wild fishing. Those take place as a contract or a compact between hunter or fisher and prey, where the hunter goes out and then the prey volunteers itself, or in the case of the fish, takes the bait, knowing full well that it is bait, what's going to happen up from it, and chooses to offer itself in order to provide sustenance to other living beings. You don't take an animal that has not presented itself as prey. That's a major faux pas. And you don't take more than you need. That is also a major faux pas. This will sound familiar to anyone who has studied old North American native hunting practices, at least some of them, the more personal ones, and also on other continents of indigenous people, the hunting practices thereof. And it's no accident that it sounds similar because that's how it's done. I myself am a hunter, and I don't hunt for trophy. I hunt for the table only. And if I go out and I have a year in which it's a bust, well, I enjoy the fact that I got a chance to get out in nature, which so rarely happens for city dwellers. And if I do manage to find prey and take an animal for the table, then I give thanks to that animal for its sacrifice and honor its life. No, a lot of people still love having showers. I know my one of my Taoisean brothers is highly fastidious. If he and he gets into combat. He has killed quite a few attacking reptilians, and if he even gets so much as a blood splatter on himself, he immediately goes and has a shower. He likes his showers. So if you do like showers, those are still available. A lot of people like them for fun and recreation too.
There's the water showers, and then they also have something very similar, what we call the sonic showers, which is a sound frequency. You can't hear it, but it basically does, still has the same effect of cleaning, but also kind of a little more massaging effect, which is really nice too.
Yep, yeah. And there's pools to swim in. Swimming is as popular up there as it is down here. There's a lot of different ways to, some of the recreations that we use are recognizable and still very highly enjoyed in higher dimensions.
Hot tubs, baths, all that still exists.
Natural hot springs are definitely prized.
Yeah, one of my most fondest memories is going to the hot springs on a planet with my friends and my crewmates, and I'm looking forward to visiting that place again very soon.
The Andromedan are sailing fanatics. They love sailing, and it's no wonder. Andron has a Mediterranean climate, beautiful crystal blue oceans, full of fish and full of plants, and lovely, lovely islands with sandy beaches. And they sail all over the place, and they still enjoy swimming in the ocean, which is not salt water but sweet. Actually, most oceans on other planets are not salty at all, but drinkable water. This planet's salt water is not natural. It was added in an effort to control water supply, in an effort to control the population, and it was added by reptilians. Mother Earth has still made it, managed to make a benefit out of something that was intended to be unilaterally negative. Salt water on this planet is very, very healing and good for your skin and good for what ails you as long as you don't drink it.
The most precious thing that we have is our ecosystem, our biosphere. The second most important precious thing we have is, of course, the water. The entire planet used to be fresh water. Okay? Our entire planet used to be fresh water. The oceans were salinated. Okay? And it was the Nibiru from the star system of Butez that did that, because they wanted to control the water. Okay?
They salted the sea.
They salted the sea. That's right. So now all you have is, at the time when they did this, there was only 4% fresh water, and they had total control over it. It took 36 years to completely salinate the oceans. And it also gave time for all the life forms in the water to adapt very slowly. But we couldn't drink the water after that.